What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. What's up, family? I ain't even gonna hold y'all. They had your girl working tonight. Voice is raspy, I'm tired, but yet and still, I'm here to bring you guys some news. Not that, yeah. Let's just get into this. For some reason, let's see what's going on Twitter here. Quavo releases a new Without You tribute to Takeoff, so he's back to releasing new music. I don't really know how I feel about that. It's kind of weird. Let's see what else is going on here. What is trending? What are people complaining about? People are talking about Euphoria, which most of the cast is like leaving. So I highly, highly doubt that show is coming back. What else? They still have not picked a House Speaker for the Republicans. And then that Representative-elect George Santos, he's still like in trouble for a lot of fraud, and he also admitted to using stolen checks in Brazil in 2008. So I don't know how much longer he's gonna be in Congress. Not that, still, I feel like he's still in the perfect place because, come on, all them dudes are crooks to me. Gabrielle Union is talking about her first marriage. Stories like this kind of make me almost believe Gabrielle Union likes to keep her name in the news because, Dwayne Wade's ex was going on about how they were trying to, market Zaya Wade with her being a trans and all that. But with Gabrielle releasing things about her first marriage, I'm just like, it's kind of sounding like, like you just gotta keep your name in the paper. But that's just my opinion. I'm not, I guess we will see. Yeah, it is a lot of news going on everywhere always, but you know me, I'm gonna pick and choose what I feel like talking about today. So Pope Benedict passed away. I guess I missed that little tidbit of news. 8 people, including 5 minors, have been found dead at a home in southwestern Utah. So with that, their bodies were discovered when officers in Enoch City, 178 miles from Las Vegas, conducted a welfare check. There were no suspects at large or threats to the public, according to which added that the investigation. So we all know this family. Many of us served with them in the church. So this is, I don't know. They're not really saying what happens, but I'm assuming since there was no kind of forced entry that, I guess we'll have to wait and see. And they never ever tell you what's really going on. My voice is really annoying me right now. Let's see here. They're looking for the Capitol pipe bomber. They have increased the reward to 500,000. So if you guys know who that is, you could be $500,000 richer. So remember yesterday when I said that man in a Tesla and his family fell off of a 250-foot cliff? Well, today they're saying the man did it on purpose, but his family ended up living. So because my voice is mega annoying, I'm going to just play the news story.
Is now charged with attempted night after a drum.
All right, let's go back in there. Okay.
Tonight, after a dramatic rescue, a stunning turn. Police say the man who drove a Tesla with his family off a 250-foot cliff near San Francisco did it on purpose. Dharmesh Patel, a radiology doctor, is now charged with attempted murder and child abuse. His wife and 2 children, ages 7 and 4, were in the car with him. Incredibly, all 4 of them survived.
We had 4 survivors in a collision where there shouldn't have been any survivors. I mean, it is truly a miracle that they're alive.
The area, known as Devil's Slide, is known for its scenic views and steep drop. Eyewitnesses frantically called 911.
I could see in my rearview mirror just the car being, straight like this, and then all of a sudden just disappeared down.
Rescuers rappelling down the cliff saved the 2 children first. Then a helicopter crew hoisted the 2 adults from the mangled vehicle, which had landed on its tires.
The damage to the vehicle would indicate that it hit and then flipped several times. Landed mostly on its wheels.
The family was rushed to the hospital. Neighbors near their home in Pasadena are shocked.
I have lots of words right now, so I hope that they'll be okay.
Police say the driver will be booked into the county jail after he's released from the hospital. Investigators have not said why he may have done it.
How can you come back from that if your husband tried to take y'all out? And that's kind of crazy. Like, I'm thinking it was some unfortunate accident and the dude literally, that's just wild to me. Amazon says it's going to cut 18,000 jobs, which is shocking. They're either using more contractors, because I know that people are not slowing down with their Amazon ordering. So the transgender person in Missouri was put to death. So, as I kept saying, the governor was not going back on that. I already knew that was going to happen. Let's see what else is going on that we care to talk about. Some of this news, like I said, it can get so repetitive. But we do have some other news that I had saw earlier. So let's see. Luxury vehicles owned by Andrew Tate have been seized in the ongoing sex trafficking. So Andrew Tate, he was bragging about his 33 cars, but they really did take all his stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't know what this guy got going on. The story reads, the misogynistic influencer who once said women should take responsibility if they are raped or was arrested along with his brother on December 29th. The duo allegedly held 6 women hostage, forcing them to have sex on camera for subscribers of Tate's Hustler University, which sported over 120,000 subscribers before it was shut down this year. The supposed university was promoted as a string of courses that offered high-income skill development. However, it mainly was a pyramid scheme that charged users $49.99 and allowed Tate to spew his hate for women, the LGBT and community, and promote pornographic content that featured trafficked women. If this is true, what was he thinking? Did it really go to his head? It's just kind of wild. I cannot believe it. Let's see what else is going on. Y'all know I got some story time for you, but thought I saw something else here worth talking about, but it may have passed, so I'm not seeing it anymore. So I didn't even know there was a new Surviving R. Kelly. I saw it on my DVR and I thought it was an old one, so I deleted it. So there's this new lady that says that she was pushed down the stairs after she found a sex tape with Aaliyah. So let's listen to her account.
Relationship with Aaliyah?
Oh gosh, that's a touchy one. When he and I lived together, but going into college, I was left at the house for hours. I see like this basket full of tapes. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll just grab one of these tapes and let me go in the other rooms and see if there's a VHS so I can watch a movie, because I was bored. That's when I discovered that he had been lying to me about Aaliyah. He records everything. So the tape that I put in was of him and Aaliyah together. They were on the tour bus, and everything that I had asked him, it was confirmed on the tape.
Surviving R. Kelly, Part 3, the final chapter. Premieres Monday, January 2nd at 9. Only on
I can't believe they did another chapter about this man, but, I talked about Aaliyah earlier this week, and, I don't know, man. I mean, R. Kelly, I don't know. And I'm still always speechless at all the crimes he committed. It's too much and too sickening. I don't have the energy to even talk about him right now. Let's see what else we have going on. Nothing that I want to repeat. Let's get into story time. Let's see what I cooked up for you guys tonight. Let's see what we got. So I'm going to start off with some science by Neil deGrasse. We're going to get smart before we get into all the dumb stuff.
January 4th, 2023. Merry perihelion to Earth and all its residents. So, in this part of Earth's oval orbit around the sun, we are closer than at any other time of year. About 92 million miles. We fluctuate by several million miles from one part of the year to the next. I don't know if you knew that. If you're a resident of the northern hemisphere and you're saying, then why is it winter? That should tell you that our distance from the sun has very little to do with what season it is. The seasons come from the tilt of Earth's axis. That's a whole other conversation. Point is, I just want to wish everyone a merry perihelion. It is an actual important part of the astronomical calendar on the year.
There you go. So yesterday we were closer to the sun than ever.
10 things I learned after being in a 10-year relationship, being engaged for the last 2, planning the whole wedding, having my dress, and calling it all off. Number 1, if he wanted to, he would. Number 2, if he's lying about the small things, he's definitely lying about the big things. Number 3, pick your battles. Not everything deserves an argument. Number 4, if he doesn't post pictures on social media or doesn't like to show you off at all, something is fishy. Number 5, if he hangs out with his friends way too much, let me tell you, that's just not going to end well. Number 6, if you guys have different lifestyles, it's definitely not going to work out. Number 7, if he doesn't like to talk about his feelings that much, he's definitely holding a lot back. That's a red flag. Number 8, the moment you stop dating each other, it becomes routine and it's just downhill from there. Number 9, couples therapy may or may not work. And number 10, you always have to...
Well, there you have it. I just read something that was kind of crazy. So John Gray, he's a preacher and he had been in so much trouble because he kept having affairs on his wife. So I was just reading his post and he said that Tyrese, the actor, saved his life. He said, when I was trying to figure out a way to end my life, I made a mistake. I called Tyrese and he said, let me call you right back. 2 hours later, he was in my driveway. He dragged me into the house into a vehicle that took me to a certified counselor. Oh yeah, and an IV drip, chef's tables full of food, holistic professionals ready to get all the pain in my body and soul alleviated. He is the most gifted human on the planet. He is top 10 R&B singer of all time, top grossing film actor. He's a better friend and had continued to be a real friend and brother. Happy birthday to my friend. Okay, so it's Tyrese's birthday, but I'm kind of like this, John Gray. You know, I'm not going to go too hard because I know suicide is nothing to play with. But you mean to tell me that you're a pastor of the church, you lean on the Lord, and Tyrese saved your life? That's the only comment I'm going to say on that, because I just can't right now. I'm too tired. I may revisit this, but right now, Saint Tyrese. That's all I'm going to say. Let's keep going.
The husband and wife in a video together just minutes before police say the wife killed the husband.
I'm a Sam D-Dot, I'm a kill D-Dot.
Tanya Nelson Smith, just hours before police say she did just that. Stabbed and killed her husband of 14 years, 41-year-old Jermaine Smith. Just hours earlier, the family says the couple was seen in this Facebook Live dancing, bringing in the new year.
They had a great time yesterday. They had video. They were hugging and kissing, and that's why everybody was in disbelief.
But Ernest Schaefer Norrell says an argument between the couple would quickly change the mood of the family get-together.
She had stabbed him in his neck, and he went outside, and he collapsed in the parking lot.
Norrell says the couple had 6 children together. When asked whether any signs pointed to this happening,
my honest opinion, I really did. I did. I really did. Only because they were bad for each other.
She says that for this reason.
She pulled the weapon before, and he stuck around.
And then she says there was this.
She stabbed him in his chest a couple of weeks ago, and he didn't go to the hospital.
So normally I don't like playing stories like that, but I mean, they was on Facebook Live dancing, partying it up. You know, they have 6 kids together, all that. But the craziest part about this whole story is when he asked, did you see any signs? And she said, yeah, she stabbed him in the chest last week. And dude, what is wrong with you? I can't even say that now. He's not around to answer, but I can't even do this right now. So there's this Georgia swim instructor that is going to be prosecuted for a 4-year-old's death in Georgia. So strange. This woman, she's been charged with 1 count of involuntary manslaughter. The news came after a press release after months of dedicated inquiry, investigation, and legal analysis. We conclude that the criminal offense has occurred in the death of Israel Scott. I've instructed the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to issue an arrest warrant for the charge of involuntary manslaughter. Williams continued, noted, despite calls to charge with the felony facts. So I guess they're charging her because she wasn't actually licensed. Y'all gotta be careful who y'all letting teach y'all kids to swim. That's sad and unfortunate on all parts, but just wild that they charged her with that. That's interesting. Let's go to our next one.
There should be very strong sentencing for women that make false allegations, who false accuse, because men's lives are being ruined. So I think what should happen is that if you accuse somebody of rape, whatever sentence that rape would hold, you should have to serve. If there is clear-cut proof that you made it up, you should have to serve that sentence. And what I will say is I do know a girl who falsely accused a guy of rape, and she did it because she wanted to get back with her ex, and she thought it was a good storyline. And it was absolutely disgusting. And I am no longer friends with that girl to this day. And you know what? I was so young then, but I should have had the courage to call the police and have told them that, hey, I do think that she's lying. I can't say for certain that she was lying, but it was a little suspect to me. And I do believe that she did it to get back with her ex. And it worked.
I hate when I agree with Candace Owens, but yeah, if you are falsely accusing people of stuff, especially like that, yeah, there should be some stipulations, because yeah, it is happening more than usual. Let's see what else. Okay, so let's get into the story.
Neighbors of 21-year-old Zachary Mills had lots to say about the jarring allegations against him that detail a brutal, aggravated kidnapping beginning on Christmas Eve and spanning 5 days.
It's pretty scary with the new dating world only being, mostly online.
According to court documents, the victim agreed to meet Mills at his Spring apartment home. Once she got there, he allegedly tried to have sex with her. When she refused, records show he started punching, slapping, biting her. He's also accused of hitting her with a screwdriver when his hands got tired and raping her. Officials believe he deprived her of food and water for the 5 days he held her captive.
It seems like it was thought out, and that's ridiculous.
The documents go on to say the woman was finally able to escape and get help once Mills left to his father's house. He was arrested on December 30th and charged with aggravated kidnapping. He posted a $50,000 bond today.
His conditions right now, he is on 24-hour house arrest outside of essential needs to travel for groceries or meeting with me, with his defense team, or attending court.
Meanwhile, Bumble offering 7 tips for safe dating that include always meeting in a public place, telling someone you trust where you're going, and researching the person you're meeting as much as possible.
Be careful out here, y'all. It gets real, like for real. I cannot stress enough to be careful. All right, let's see what we got here. Not that we need another dating app horror story.
If y'all don't take any advice from me ever, please take this advice. Stay off of dating apps. When I tell you my story, you're probably gonna be like, what the? Long story short, I met this guy on Be Okay. Be Okay. I'm the type of person, I'm not comfortable just meeting up with you the first day that we match. But this was different. We matched, we talked, probably exchanged like 10 messages, then boom. He was like, want to FaceTime? What? Yes, I would love to FaceTime. We got on FaceTime. We were talking. Y'all, when I tell y'all we were talking on FaceTime for hours, we were on FaceTime for 8 hours straight. 8 hours straight, okay? Keep that up here. Me being me, I'm not comfortable until we text for a while, FaceTime, talk on the phone for a while. But since we were on FaceTime for 8 hours, I was so comfortable to just meet up with him. He was like, when are you going to make time for me? I said, tomorrow. Well, that day. Because it was like the sun was coming up. We were on FaceTime that long. Long story short, I went over there. Everything was cool. We met. He fell in love with your girl. I went over there, a few times. Everything was cool. Everything was fine. And of course, stuff popped off. I'm grown. So what? I regret it. But listen, it was kind of weird. I would go over there at night, only like around probably like 7. I would stay the whole night. And then every day at like 12 o'clock, we would get up. He basically kicked me out. Like, he had to go get some money or whatever. Whatever he did. And I never knew what he did for a living. Like, he was not from here. He was from Louisiana. Nothing against people from Louisiana, but my experience with Louisiana men. And I guess around that time, like, it would have been, like, 10-year anniversary of him ending himself, if you know what I'm trying to say. And he was also into, he did music. Like, he rapped. When I tell y'all he was a rapper. Oh, he rapped great. And I don't say that about nobody, but he was a pretty good rapper. I guess he had some type of, like, connection. Not, like, knowing Juice WRLD, but, like, he really liked him. His documentary came out around the time, and Juice WRLD's documentary. And we watched it together, and that night, I came over there. I actually wasn't going to go over there, but he called me and was like, babe, I need you. Like, come over. Like, you're supposed to be my woman. Like, I need you. Like, I'm not in a good mood, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, fine. I dropped everything I was doing and got in my car and went over there. They doing too much. We watched it together. He's drunk and he's high, right? Everything was fine until something just switched automatically, and that's when I got kind of scared. And I'm trying not to make part 2. All of a sudden, he started looking at me really, really weird. And when I say weird, it was kind of like an uncomfortable type of stare. He started walking towards me and he got mad at me. I forgot what it was, but he said, you better da-da-da-da, right? He grabbed my neck and started choking me, and I was like, get off me, like, you're scaring me, like, what's going on? Like, what's that? Like, he looked at me dead in my eyes and was like, you think I'm gonna hurt you? He was like, I'm not gonna you, but I'm gonna... Y'all, part two of my dating app horror story. You should stay on dating apps. So listen, after he was choking me and was like, I'm not gonna end you, I said, you need to chill. I was like, you need to drink some water. Like, I'm gonna open the door for you. But like, what do you need? But before that, before that, we were laying down and this man faked a seizure. Why are you faking a seizure? I'm scared as hell. I'm like, should I call 911? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? He was like he was, bro. Soon as he like finally got off of me and let go from choking me, I was like in my head, like, soon as this man goes in the bathroom, get the heck out. I was like, maybe we should take a shower, like, you know, cool off, like, get the high off you, the drunk off you, all that. He came towards me again, had me up against the wall. And when I tell you I wanted to cry so bad, I was like, what? This reminded me of the abuse that I went through as a child from my father. So I was just like, put me in the bad space. A couple of videos down, I have like a little explanation of what happened when I was a kid. But anyway, he walked in the bathroom. When I tell you I had my jacket on, I'm like, babe, I'm a little cold. Like, let's put my jacket on. I put my purse by the door. I had my shoes ready. Yo, he walked in that bathroom. I was out. I slowly grabbed my keys, and I had slides on. I had my slides on. Opened the door as slow as I can. And ran down the dang stairs, ran down the street, y'all. My car was parked directly across the street from his house, but I ran down the street. I called my friend at the time, and I was like, oh my God, like, she wasn't even going to answer the phone, she said she wasn't going to answer the phone. She was about to go to sleep. Luckily, she did. I called her. I was out of breath. She was like, are you running? She was like, where are you? I was like, at his house. She was like, what happened? I run into the 7-Eleven. So his house is here. My car is across the street. 7-Eleven is like over here. I don't know what exactly I said to the people that work there, but I said, can someone go get my car for me? And as I'm in the store, he's calling he's blowing my phone up. I'm not answering, but he's blowing it up. I said, do y'all know who this is? They were looking at my phone. They said, I know exactly who this is. I said, oh my gosh. I wasn't even thinking in my head like these ladies could steal my car. I was just like, can y'all go get my car? I'm not walking back over there. So the girl grabbed my keys, went to get my car, and I was hiding like outside by the bush on the side of the store. And his car is red. A red car pulled up. When I tell you, I almost shit my pants, literally, I was hiding because the car came real fast. The car came, I want to make a part 3, you guys. The car came really, really fast. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was on the side of me. And it was like in my view, like they could see me. I was like, please do not let this be him. Y'all, it was some Asians. I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. The lady comes and she has my car. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. So I grab it from her. She gives me a hug. She was like, get home safe. I was like, okay. I get in my car. This was the first time that I started shaking. Like, I was shaking so bad. Like, I was on the phone with my friend. I started crying. I was like, I didn't think he was like this. This is crazy. Like, what? He could have killed me. Once at her house, started crying at her house. We were talking about it, and I blocked him. She was like, you can stay here. I'm like, nah, I want to go home. And I tell you, I was paranoid the whole ride home. But after that, I blocked him, and yeah.
That is the most nonchalant, almost murder story I ever heard. But there you have it. So if you guys ever get wiretapped or you hiding from the law, here's some tips for you. I figure we should know things like this, right?
Gatekeeping information is how certain people are able to stay in business because they don't want you to know certain secrets and things like that. But there are certain things in my field that I feel like shouldn't be gate-kept. So here are 7 things that I'm not going to gatekeep in 2023, Lawyer Edition. Number 1, people always ask me, like, how do I know if my phone is tapped? You won't. But I will tell you that wiretaps are typically only good for 30 days. And after those 30 days, the prosecutor can re-up their application for another 30 days, so on and so forth. And wiretaps are tied to your phone. Well, if they do it right, they're tied to your phone, your actual phone, your phone number, and your account. So if you dump your phone, they can say, hey, and you get a new phone, but leave it on the same account. They can make the cell phone provider transfer the wiretap to the new phone. Number 2, Google collects a ton of information about you, and they know this. Google actually has a manual for law enforcement that tells them how to request your information from them. Number 3, if you're ever like pulled over and the officer starts with or asks during the stop, how many drinks have you had, or how have you smoked marijuana, where's the rest of the weed at? Like if he's asking how many drinks you've had, the correct answer is not 1 or anything. That's not the correct answer. Just don't answer the question, because again, you don't have to answer any questions other than IDing yourself, because what you're doing by answering that question is setting yourself up for a DWI stop. Even if you've just smoked weed, keep in mind DWIs or DUIs, depending on your state, driving under the influence, also applies to driving under the influence of drugs. Number 4, if your car, your truck or whatever it is ever gets seized or towed by the FBI, DEA, or whatever the case may be, and they are going to release it, they make you sign a form saying that you are waiving your right to sue them if they damaged your car. Don't do it that way. If you end up in that situation, get a court order. Number 5, there's a device called Cellbrite, and it also has a software that actually, if the law enforcement plugs your phone up to it, no matter if it's an Android or iPhone, will extract all of your data off that phone, and I do mean all of your data, and that actually oftentimes leads to people getting their iCloud searched, because their iCloud they use iCloud, so on and so forth. They typically have a harder time getting into Androids versus iPhones, and long story short, if you have an iPhone, make it to where your control center cannot be accessed if your phone is locked. Number 6, geofencing is a thing that law enforcement requests from Google to say, hey, Google, there was a crime in this area and we want to know all of the phones that were in the area. And if you use a Google product on your phone, they'll give your information. And number 7, if you make a large cash withdrawal, it's going to be reported to the government.
I'm telling y'all, this is some good tips. And see, y'all be hating on Androids, but look what she said. Y'all got all your information on iCloud. Androids is winning this round.
Now, my oldest will be here after the holidays. We have had quite a journey. It's only within the last 10 years that I've started to like him. I've always loved him, but like I said, we have had quite a journey. I had to put him out when he was 17 because I came home one day and there he was laid up, as my grandmother would say, with some old gal. After she left, I told him, I said, look, I can't deal with this right now. Just take all these sheets off, burn them, do something with them. Then he started just talking. Mama, you embarrassed me. I'm like, what did you say? Mama, you embarrassed me. I said, I can't deal with this right now. You need to shut up. Then he come talking about, that's why Daddy left you. You always got to have things your way. That's why he left. I said, you need to be quiet. He kept right on talking. I went and grabbed him by the throat, and I was choking him. Finally, his eyes bugged. He said, Mama, I can't breathe. I let him go. I started crying. I ran to the phone. I called his daddy. I said, come get him before you have to view him. He came. I said, get everything. Get everything. Long story short, he stayed over there. He graduated from high school. He asked me to come. And I asked his daddy, did you tell him to invite me? He said, no, he wanted you there. Well, we talked a bit, but he stayed with his dad. Then he got married. That was another disaster. And I believe that was to get out of his daddy's house. Anyway, that ended. Now he's married, has a beautiful wife and children. We talk every week, and he understands a bit what I went through. He said, Mama, I'm sorry. We had apologized to each other years ago, but he said, Mama, I'm sorry. Now I know. You know why? Because he's dealing with the same thing from his oldest son. So that goes to show you that sometimes, your kids, you are strained, you don't see eye to eye, but like my grandmother and like my mama said, he understands it, and he will understand it, and continue to understand it by and by.
The stuff people put on TikTok, she says she was going to kill that boy. Wow.
You are not going crazy. You are being unplugged. As a part of the ascension process, you are ascending, unplugging out of the third dimensional matrix. And where we are right now, in this current timeline, the matrix is dissolving so quickly that it is unplugging itself from you too. So everything that you have ever anchored yourself in, every energetic, every place, everything, every belief, every structure, every paradigm, it's all changing. And for a little while, you're going to be walking around with the end of a plug going, I don't even know. I feel lost. I look in the mirror and I don't recognize myself half the time. Yet there's a part of me that knows nothing has changed. I don't jam with my friends like I used to. My family doesn't even vibe with me the way it used to. Foods don't taste the same. I'm really intolerant to sound and to light sometimes. I don't know what day of the week it is. I don't know why I'm here. I feel so lost. And that is a really big part of the journey. And you're going to have days where it feels really intensified, and then you're going to have other days where it doesn't feel so bad, because it's a process. Slowly, bit by bit, your higher self is helping you snip the cord between you and the matrix. And the matrix at a cellular level is all that you have ever known for this lifetime and thousands of lifetimes before. So it makes sense. You're going to go through a process of feeling like, where do I plug in? Well, here's where you're going to plug in. You will be slowly, as you unplug, plugging into your higher self. And then from the higher self, you then gain access to your monad group, who are your soul family. But in the meantime, the ego, the aspects of your ego that have yet to dissolve its wounds and traumas and come in alignment with your soul, it's going to pitch a fit, because its job is to keep you safe. And it will determine that this really lost feeling where you don't recognize yourself and nothing resonates and foods don't taste the same and you really want to sleep a lot and you need to be alone, it's going to think that all of those things are not safe. And it will gaslight you, manipulate you, and tell you a story that you need to quickly plug back in, to go back to the old behaviors that you used to have, to go back to the old friendships that you used to be in, and to do the old things. You need to resist this.
Even though I wanted this lady to blow her nose through this whole thing, she said a lot of good things. Don't go back to the old. Ascend, friend.
Dave & Buster's is shaking, and I hope this doesn't ruin the reputation of the company. I'm still gonna go. James Buster Corley is the co-founder of Dave & Buster's, and he was unalived just a couple days ago from an apparent escicide, a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the body. Let's talk about it. So David Carivo and Buster Corley both started Dave & Buster's back in 1982 December in Dallas, Texas. They first started by purchasing a 40,000 square foot warehouse in an area called Restaurant Row, where they added Dave's concept of games and Buster's restaurant, and together they made Dave & Buster's. I literally love Dave & Buster's, and what I love the most about it is in every city the food is different. When I went to Dave & Buster's in Ohio, the food was way different. The menu was way different than the Dave & Buster's in the Bay Area, which I think is super cool. You could play games there. It's more for adults. And no, the business was not suffering. This was not the reason of the apparent escicide. There was no letter, but James' daughter came out and she said the reason what it might be. So earlier this year, Buster suffered a stroke, which caused damage to the personality and communication part of his brain, his daughter, Kate Corley, said. And I think that affected what went on after that. They did not elaborate on the state of his condition, but this 72-year-old was known to be very happy and very much in his right mind until his stroke. At 7 p.m., officers were called to Corley's house in White Rock Lake. I don't want to say exactly how he was found, but, he was found unalived. Now, like I said before, I don't think it was anything where the company was going belly up and so he was forced to do something. This was a very rich man, and actually Dave & Buster's is thriving. They have 140 stores still open after the pandemic, and they recently, in June of last year, I can't believe 2020 was last year, in June, they actually acquired Main Event. Y'all ever been to Main Event? Dave & Buster's is more of the adult game and food place with drinks and so on. Main Event is more for young adults, kids, and couples, okay? They just acquired a deal of purchasing Main Event for $835 million, so they weren't hurting for any money. This is actually very sad. The CEO, Dave, actually passed away in 2015, so now we have officially lost both Dave and Buster. And they got their name Dave and Buster because Buster lost the coin toss, so his name had to be last. I'm praying for the family. I'm still going to go.
Nachi went on about food during a suicide story. Dave and Buster's food is not that great, but condolences to the family. But she was really cracking me up talking about that food. Let's go to the next one.
So I just came on here to vent because this needs to be vented about. Being with somebody, being in a serious relationship with somebody that is incarcerated is literally the hardest shit in the world. And I feel like a lot of times on this app, the women highlight it. Y'all think it's a game. Y'all think it's a fad. Y'all think it's fun. Y'all be like, oh my God, all the fine men are in jail. Oh my God, all the talented men are in jail. Oh my God, they're so amazing. Meanwhile, us who are really in a relationship with them, really holding it down, really trying to build our life with someone who is behind bars, are looking at y'all like, this what you want, sis? I feel like we get a lot of videos about, oh, I love my man behind bars. I'm going to ride with him. I'm going to stick with him. But we don't ever get the videos where we talk about how hard this shit is. When me and my man argue, it's literally we can hang up the phone. That's the end of the conversation. I don't get to see him. And when we make up, I don't get to hug him. I have to wait an allotted time to see him. I don't know about what state anybody else is in, but me and mine are in Georgia. And there is no walk-up visitation. So I can't just go see him and sit down and look at him face to face when I want to. It is not like the movies. I literally have to sign up, and God forbid I miss that deadline. It's over with. I gotta wait until the next week. I have to go to sleep by myself, wake up by myself, go through the good days and the bad days by myself. And when I miss him most, he can't be here. When he misses me most, I can't be there. We can't hug each other. We can't kiss each other. And the allotted time that we do have to hug and kiss each other is at the beginning and the end of the visitation. Oh, and let's not even talk about COVID, where we weren't even allowed to see our loved ones. You have to deal with people judging you, talking about you, attacking your character, judging them, attacking their character, because everybody who's never been to prison seems to be an expert on it. Dealing with family and friends, judging you, talking to you, giving their opinion. Yeah, it's a lot. The mental health is absolutely ridiculous. This isn't for the faint at heart. This is not for the weak. And if at any moment you feel like this is something that you should glorify, then I really think that you need to question yourself, because we don't do it because we're glorifying. We do it because we love the individual that we're waiting on. I do it because he's been my best friend since the day we met 10 years ago. We do it because we genuinely love the ground that those men walk on. And yeah, we have doubts. Everything is not perfect. We do not walk around like, yeah, when he comes home, life is going to be perfect. We be scared. We hear what y'all say. We know the reality of the situation. So while y'all all up under my man's video, glorifying this and saying this, that, and the third, even the ones criticizing him, y'all might want to relax. You think this the life for you. You think you really have what it takes. I wouldn't wish this on nobody. I promise you it's much more than just being a pen pal. This is a very long ride. And most of y'all ain't even going to have enough gas.
She a soldier, because I can tell you right now, I can't do it. I do not like jail romance. I do not. Only plus about jail romance is that man will care about your day more than anybody ever in the world. He wants to know everything about you because he has nothing else going on. I mean, those are the only pluses, but them phone calls, the not being able to see each other, that recorded line, all the searches, I can't. No, she's a soldier. Let's get one more.
In 28 days, all the symptoms resolve. Okay? The mercury was coming from the fish. So that's one example. Okay? Another example, because one of the primary fish that people like to eat is salmon. Okay?
Yes.
What people just recently found out about salmon a couple of years ago is they make a genetically modified version of it. Did you know that? Yeah, so they make a genetically modified version. I think it was created in Canada. So they take this genetically modified version and somehow incidentally combine it in the same waters with the natural salmon. You know what the genetically modified version started doing? You can look this up. It started eating the natural salmon.
Oh, it's a wrap.
You can look this up. I'm not making this up. It's not a video. It really happened. So what's really important is that. And then the third thing I'll tell you is that because the waters are so polluted in the ocean today, well, what people don't realize is that radiation continue out into the...
See? That's why what that lady said, that's why I don't eat. That's why I don't like eating. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing else, but the food is fake. And it tastes weird. It all tastes weird. You guys, I thugged this out for y'all tonight because I love giving you these podcasts, but your girl was tired, but we did it. We learned, we ascended, we laughed, and we will be back tomorrow. And hopefully I'm not so drained, but yeah. Efforts of Family is signing out. You guys have an awesome, awesome night. I'm going to drink some more water, singing my voice back. Toodles.